Hey y'all, Lisa Davis here, trusted banker. Oh, it's been today's Tuesday. It has been a day. So I'm in a meeting actually with HUD and housing commissions and all kind of places that get federal funding, right? All the places that get the federal funding. When the news comes down that crazy, corrupt, crazy, the man that somebody messed with him and hurt his feelings when he was a child has attempted to freeze all federal funding, which is crazy. It's just absolutely crazy. So let's talk about it because here's the thing. The reason I do this work is so that you understand what is and is not possible, right? Now, I know that he's attempting, and if you've been following me for any time, I told y'all Trump didn't get in office to serve. Trump got in office because it's a money grab. Find the money and try to create ways to privatize things because it's billions and trillions of dollars sitting there, and we know this old man is greedy. This old man is greedy, and he don't want nobody else to have anything but him. So we're gonna talk about this latest thing. I was trying to share my screen, but I can't. So what I want to talk about is the entities and understand that we are believing the only thing we have, right? The GOP has the House, the Senate, and the presidency, and the Supreme Court. What we have been hoping is that um, there will be some Republicans that are in office that sees the craziness that this man is doing and don't go along with it, right? So that there's not a majority of any votes that go along with the things that he's trying to do. The things that he's trying to freeze with his federal freeze, right? I work with Section 8 a lot. I work with Head Start a lot. So these are the things that'll be affected. Healthcare, so Medicaid, a federal state program providing health coverage. If you see your things here, then these are the things. So the programs like the President's Emergency Plan for AIDS relief, right? HIV and AIDS relief. Title I grants to schools. So children that from low income families, this is the work that I do again. So they won't have free lunch. Title I grants. This assistance goes to children in low income families. Head Start will be impacted. The school meal program will be impacted. At the Housing and Urban Development, Section 8 rental assistance can be impacted. And community development block grants, the CDBG grants are the monies that help to improve your communities, that go to different agencies within the state to help with funding for roads and home repairs and porches. Social services like the temporary assistance for needy families, so the TANF program, financial aid to low income families. Women, infants, and children, the WIC program, nutritional support for low income and pregnant women. All these federal grants that he's attacking go to low income people. They're all there as ways to help people that need assistance for whatever reason. Energy assistance programs that support low income households to manage energy costs. Environmental grants, which is funding to address environmental concerns. FEMA, of all things. He was just in California and he said FEMA, right? He said FEMA would be something that he would try to get rid of. So the thing is, if the Republicans let all this go down, right? If the Republicans let all this go down, it is going to put the country in crisis, right? It's not anything. It's not. I don't know. It's craziness, but it's going to stall a lot of monies that people need. There's going to be people out there that need these programs and needs these monies. So him freezing it right now is going to be an issue. However, there's already several lawsuits against him, and the lawsuits will win. The lawsuits will win because there's no reason for him to freeze any of the programming that's already in place that is already helping people. He has no rhyme or reason for doing that. He has to have rhyme or reason. These are federal programs. These are already approved programs. These are programs that have been in existence forever, but Trump doesn't care. And this is just what we have to deal with. And I'm hoping that the people that put him in office sees that this person has no heart, that the people that are around him, they don't care about people. Their whole premise is to get into office, to find the money, to grab the money. I did see that on the Guardian page that lawsuits have come forward. So I was trying to share that with you so I could read about that. Because I just saw that while I was looking. So the Guardian is, and I've never used YouTube streaming software, so bear with me. This is something way new with YouTube. I normally do it through StreamYard, but on StreamYard I can't see your comments, and I can't answer. If I answer, they seem to go away. So let me try to do it like this. It should be a tab. So this is what's up. So the Trump administration is sued over the federal grant freeze as press secretary insists direct assistance is not affected. Okay, that's not true. And the other thing that's wrong with this entire administration is they've got people in position that have never been in government. And so for the press secretary to come out and boldly lie to the American people and say this grant freeze doesn't hurt anything that's affected, doesn't affect anything right now, that's not true. Because if you freeze the grants and you stop the systems, there's going to be a gap. There's going to be a gap, and there's going to be monies missing, and that can impact a day of lunch for the kids. It could impact easily a day of lunch for the kids. It could impact somebody's ability to be able to make. So memo says Social Security and Medicare are excluded, but congressional Democrats express extreme alarm. Donald Trump has ordered a pause in all grants and loans dispersed by the federal government, potentially upending programs relying on millions. Oh my gosh, I'll do it later. In a 2-page internal memo, Trump's acting head of office management, the OMB, instructed all federal agencies to temporarily pause all activities related to obligations or disbursements of all federal financial assistance. And what's so crazy is I just got off of a meeting. I was just meeting with HUD. I was just meeting with the Housing Commission, and we were just talking about, do we think that the HUD programs are going to go through and be untouched? They make it through every administration, and then this comes down. It's just craziness, but it's just something that we're going to have to go through. I don't believe it's going to hold. I don't believe it's going to take. There are some people that are going to, like, he's already being sued. At a news conference, Chuck Schumer said the Democratic Senate leader, let's see what this is saying. It's music. 4 groups filed a lawsuit already challenging a pause of federal funding. Youngest U.S. press secretary in history holds his first. I don't want to see that mess. All right, and the music got on my nerves. So it's described as a dagger at the heart of the average American families in the red states and the blue states. And that's the whole thing. A lot of the federal funding goes to majority red states. I really wish I could see people's faces that support Trump and know and how this impacts where they are, because a lot of federal funding goes to the red states. A lot of it. Joined at the news conference by the Democratic senators Amy Klobuchar, Patty Murray, The halt in spending comes days after the U.S. also immediately cut off all foreign aid. Almost immediately cut off all foreign aid. That's right. He cut off all foreign aid a couple of days ago, and was designed to ensure that financial assistance is in line with Trump's policies. He don't have any policies. He had concepts of policies. He doesn't even have any policies. Federal agencies, he added, will halt spending affected by Trump's recent executive orders that touch upon financial assistance for foreign aid, non-governmental organizations, woke gender ideology, and the Green New Deal. No, it affects HUD, it affects WIC, it affects housing, it affects Head Start, it affects school. There's no such thing as woke. The freeze in federal funding set to take place on Tuesday afternoon has thrown the future of a vast array of programs into uncertainty. There was no explanation as to whether the pause in question would affect Medicaid, food stamps, disaster assistance, and other programs. Yes, it affects FEMA. Yes, it affects food. It affects children's lunch. It affects Medicare. While the U.S. president administers federal spending programs, actual spending and budgets are determined by Congress. Democrats said Trump's spending pause is breathtaking and unprecedented and will cause disruptions to Americans' day-to-day assistance. They say this is only temporary, but no one should believe that. Donald Trump and his administration to reverse course immediately, and the taxpayers' money should be distributed to the people. Congress approved these investments, and they are not optional. They are the law. In reference to the National Institute of Health, Klobuchar wrote on social media, "Are you stopping NIH cancer trials? Cancer research is stopped." Yes, all of these things. So Bernie Sanders said in a statement on Tuesday that the Trump administration order will have a devastating impact on the health and well-being of millions of children, seniors on fixed income, and the most vulnerable people in our country. It is a dangerous move towards authoritarianism, and it is blatantly unconstitutional, said the senator from Vermont, adding that our founding fathers explicitly gave Congress the power in the purse. If President Trump wants to change our nation's laws, he has the right to ask Congress to change them. He does not have the right to violate the United States Constitution. He is not a king. The Connecticut Attorney General William Tong called the pause a full assault on families, adding that it is unprecedented and blatantly lawless and unconstitutional attack on every corner of every level of our government and economy. So what's going to happen next? That's what we need to know. What's going to happen next? He is being sued. Do the lawsuits stop the freeze? Do the lawsuits stop the freeze so that on federal funding? State plans to sue to block Trump's federal grants. Trump's effort to withhold federal funding will trigger imminent legal action. Can you guys see this? I don't know how this software works. Oh, yes, you can. Trump's effort to withhold federal funding will trigger imminent legal debt. Trump with withhold. And like President Donald Trump said, early executive order on birthright citizenship to fight. Yeah, he's got a lot of things. Trump is a walking ball of chaos. He is a walking ball of chaos. He is a very hurt person. He doesn't care about anybody. And man, when I didn't think he was going to get to this chaoticness, but see, he doesn't have anything to lose. We have put a felon in office, a felon with 34 convictions, and has been criminally charged in office. And he knows it's his last term. This man has nothing to lose. If he leaves office, he will go to jail. He has to stay in office. And so while he is fighting his internal battles, he wants everybody else to suffer because he's suffering. The man is a lunatic. We put a lunatic in office, and and a bully. And bullies seem to love bully. Hurt people love hurt people. So we got a lot of people probably thinking, oh, he's being so great. Oh, he's being so strong. He's finally breaking the system. He's draining the swamp. He's going to change America. We're going to get America to how. No, that's not what's going to happen, because the people that follow him are so undereducated. They are so undereducated. They don't understand how these systems work. They don't understand where their monies come from. They don't understand how monies get to their whatever monies that, if they get any of the monies that come to their communities, they don't understand the processes. And so they think these things might be a good idea when these things are the things that help to make your communities livable, that help to have your children go to school and have food, that help to have young people under 5 go to Head Start, that help to have people with problems that when the storms come or the hurricanes come, all those people in Asheville, he defunded FEMA. So when more natural disasters come, he wants to get rid of FEMA. Who's going to help? Like we for some reason, his following believes our tax dollars don't fund the things we need in our communities. And that's the biggest problem, because they actually do. The people that put Trump in place believe that the federal government misuses our tax dollars. They believe the federal government takes our tax dollars and sends it to Ukraine, and that's all they do. Why do we have all these homeless people and what you're sending billions to Ukraine? And the whole time is always, we have a government affairs budget and we have housing budget. Whether they sent money to Ukraine or not, that has nothing. They wouldn't have sent that money to take people off of the streets. The two don't coexist like that. Like, programs are budgeted. The budget that was for homelessness, the budget that was for housing, the budget that was for affordable housing was not going to have more money in it just because they sent money to Ukraine. Just because they didn't send money to Ukraine. And the people, Trump and the people that follow him, think you can just move money from one administration to the next, from one department to the next. Like, okay, we won't send 60 billion to Ukraine, so we'll put 60 billion over here to help with the homelessness problem. It doesn't work like that. It never has. And if you want to figure out how to make it work where you have more money going to the people here that are homeless, then you need to put a plan into place with programming to move the money over. But just moving money out of this is just craziness. The administration said the aim is to evaluate those programs to ensure they are aligned with Trump's agenda. That's a lie, because you can evaluate programs while the programs are existing. And then while you evaluate the programs, when you come up with your findings, then you can make adjustments. So the administration is a liar. The administration is full of mess. The administration is going to be chaotic, full of bullies, and they have no regard for the humans that depend on these programs. And the humans that voted this man in, I hope they start to see who he is and stop sitting back laughing at how great he's doing and how he's just throwing everybody a wrench in the systems. Because whether he figures out what he wants to do with this money or not, I can best believe you it's not going to you. I can best believe you all the people that voted him in office ain't gonna see none of the money he gonna grab. Y'all not. Y'all not. And so you can sit back and kiki and everything and think he's being so great and so strong and he's breaking the system to fix the system, to put the system a little bit different. It's still not going to impact your life the way you think it will. It's still not going to impact your life the way you think it will. It didn't impact your life the last time he was in office. You was broke then, you broke now. You was uneducated then, you uneducated now. That's how I see it. It seems clear to me that the Trump administration is aching to get the issue to the Supreme Court. The Trump administration clearly thinks they have a favorable court. The Constitution specifically states that Congress has the job of imposing taxes and spending money, giving it what is colloquially known as the power of the purse. It is the principal authority Congress has in separation of powers showdowns with the president. The Congress has the power of the purse. This is 100% true. If you take it away, you've got a Congress that really can't do much of anything in the face of an intransient president. That's not going to happen. One lawsuit has already been filed with various nonprofit groups. Our lawyers are in a series of meetings on that very subject today. Challenges to the Trump actions to withhold funding would likely cite the Empowerment Control Act, a law passed in 1974 to regulate the president's control over the budget. This followed efforts by then President Richard Nixon to withhold spending on programs he did not support, like Trump has indicated his intention to do. So under the law, the president can temporarily withhold funds, but must notify Congress first. And the decision cannot be based on policy grounds. So that means he cannot withhold funds, pause loans based on the fact that he wants to analyze and research if these programs are working so that he can decide if the policy stays or the policy needs to be updated. He cannot do that. It's against the law. The president can also ask Congress to rescind spending decisions, which can also be grounds for a pause in spending. So if he wants to have the funds halted or frozen, he needs to go through Congress to rescind spending decisions or pause spending decisions. Trump's nominee to run the OMB repeated during his recent Senate confirmation hearing his belief that the Empowerment Control Act is unconstitutional, foreshadowing a potential legal argument. And he has not been confirmed yet. Thank you, Jesus. How do you believe that the law is unconstitutional? They believe every law on the books that helps people is unconstitutional. They believe every law. They believe the Civil Rights Act law is unconstitutional. They believe the Civil Rights Act is unconstitutional. They believe Roe versus Wade was unconstitutional. They believe the Empowerment Control Act is unconstitutional. They believe equal opportunity employment, equal employment opportunity is unconstitutional. Everything that helps people is unconstitutional. Meanwhile, these laws have been put in place because they're needed to help people. They're needed to help people. So there's always amendments that should help the public that is paying taxes. That's just how it is. Just as the president has discretion to not enforce every criminal law to the fullest extent, the president may make judgments on the extent to which expend appropriations. Among other things, the article said the Supreme Court ruling last year that found Trump had broad immunity from legal prosecution as evidence of presidential dominance over the other branches of government. Litigation could also focus on a provision in the Constitution that requires the president take care of the laws be faithfully executed. Let me turn on my CNN. Well, I don't even like CNN. I'm sure Don Lemon is covering this. This is crazy. In 1974, around the time of the Impoundment Control Act was enacted, the court ruled against the Nixon administration in an attempt to withhold funding aimed at reducing water pollution. Where am I going? On a related issue, the court in 1998 invalidated a law that allowed the president to issue line item vetoes of laws enacted by Congress. That is, vetoing specific items within legislation instead of taking or leaving the full text. On a related issue, the court in 1998 invalidated a law that allowed the president to issue line item vetoes of laws enacted by Congress. So he can't even go line item by line item. If the law is enacted, the law is enacted. You can't pick through it or anything. So, Jim Crow trickery. Trump freezes aid. What I really feel like is going to be happening with this administration is we are going to lose so much money on tax dollars because of going to court. Because this administration, they're going to be taken to court over and over and over and over, over and over and over and over. That's what I see. Hi, this guy needs to be impeached and jailed. I'm sorry. Hey y'all, I didn't see the comments. I'm sorry. Yeah, he does need to be impeached and jailed. And the fact that they're taking comments from the OMB and that person hasn't even been confirmed is crazy. It's just simply crazy. This guy, he doesn't hold the purse strings. Congress does. Unfortunately, he is holding Congress. He is holding Congress, but I feel like there's a few GOP. I mean, I met with my congressional leaders here, and that was the question I had for them. You know, the GOP owns the Supreme Court, the Senate, the House, and the presidency. Do you think you'll be able to get any laws passed? You know, blah blah blah. And their answers was there are some on the GOP side that will not go along with everything Trump wants to do, right? They will not go along with what Trump wants to do. And so they're dependent on those with common sense or that have proven themselves to actually care about people, to not be able to push past some of these extreme measures that President Trump is going to be trying to do. It's going to be either it's going to be a crazy 4 months and they're going to get his ass out of there, or it's going to be a crazy 4 years. But the fact that he's doing everything now means that once he gets through it and he goes through it and he either finds out he can or he can't, then it should all even out, right? Unfortunately, this is reality. My university has already sent out notifications advising students to stay on top of their financial plans due to this. Yeah, it's a reality but we have to believe that it's not going to be able to be done. This man is just the devil personified. Is he going to stop federal taxes from our checks? I know that's right. Is he going to stop? Right. That was my first thought. You not going to pay your damn bills? I'm not paying my damn bills. Like, it's like we can all play this game. And that's the whole part. We can go tit for tat. The American people can stop fucking paying. We can stop fucking paying. We ain't got to pay no bills. We can put the banks out of business. We can put the damn government out of business. We ain't got to pay no taxes. We can stop working. Like, I don't know. But it's almost like you know what I'm saying? Like that was exact Miss V. That's exactly where I went with it. He is not going to stop federal tax. In fact, he's going to raise taxes. He's going to raise taxes. He already, yep. But that's the first place my mind went. You don't want to pay for the things that people need, that the people have agreed that our tax dollars can go for because you greedy. Then we're not gonna pay you. Like what? Like what? Like we can break the whole system on all sides. It ain't just you. It ain't just you. We can break it too. That's why I told everybody to file bankruptcy. File. What if the whole America files bankruptcy and decides not to pay no debt? If we decide not to pay no debt back, the economy stops. Period. Like there's things that the people can do. This man is gonna have this country in the streets. Um, like we saw, what was that, France, Paris, back in the day, last year. This man is crazy. This is the kind of stuff that makes people get out there and do crazy things to the government, like, and be out there like Paris did, and like literally pick people up and pull them out of office. If y'all not gonna, cause see, why do we have to go through 4 years of trial? But they got Luigi, was that his name? Louis Magan. Oh my gosh, I'm bad with names, but they found that guy that allegedly killed the United Healthcare CEO in 2 days, got him into jail, got him in all this in court within a week. It took 4 damn years to get Trump through his court cases and all the things. And that it always bothers me how fast they get other people through the system, but it takes Trump forever to go through the system. Like it was already in place that he just wasn't going to go to jail. And now you got a felon in office, in the highest office in the world, in the most powerful position, and y'all are alarmed that he's doing crazy shit. He don't have nothing to lose. He don't have nothing to lose and everything to gain, because if they take him out of there, he going to jail. How will it affect? Will it affect IRS and income tax? I don't know what you mean. Will it affect it? That's the money we pay to the IRS. That's got nothing to do with federal funding. Federal funding are the programs that help to support communities, especially low income communities. No, they have. It will affect IRS and income tax. No, we have. I don't know if it'll affect that, but I do know that the money that he has frozen is the money that comes through to all the different states. Those monies help people like me. I have contracts with different cities. I have contracts with municipalities. I have contracts with the Housing Commission. I have contracts with the Treasury. I have contracts with like state agencies. So like the funding that he's talking about pausing affect people like me and my contracts, because that's the money they use to pay for people like me that do this work, that help people get their homes renovated, that help people make sure that they can buy a home, that help people make sure they can start their business and grow their business, like things like that get the kids monies and all those things. So I don't know that it's going to affect the IRS, because the IRS is not part of federal funding. It's community development block grants, it's housing through the Department of HUD, Section 8, it's Head Start, it's free meals, free lunches, and all those things, and research and things for cancer and HIV and AIDS. So it's just alarming. And it's just sad that this man lives in such a state of alarm, in such a state of chaos. Like, just when he comes up and he does all this stuff, you just know he's just a really sad, unhappy person. And it's too bad. It's too bad. But and it really bugs me. It bugs me that white people just be standing behind him. It bugs me that when I watch the Senate hearings, they don't even want to address the fact that he's been convicted. And because they want to say, well, it didn't work. He didn't go to jail. Yeah, because you guys wouldn't put him in jail. He didn't go to jail, but he should have. This man is a criminal. This man is a criminal. That's exactly why. Oh, I have to do it over here. Let me see what this is saying.
Of President Trump's cabinet nominees this week, including Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Kash Patel, and Tulsi Gabbard. Now, overnight, the president defended his decision to go forward with those mass firings of the IGs, but it's still legally questionable after Congress passed a bipartisan law to prevent such overtly political moves like that. Now, the president, we're also learning, will go before Congress on March 4th. That is the date that Speaker Johnson has set for him to deliver his first joint address to Congress. Willie?
All right, Vaughn Hilliard starting us off at the White House this morning. Vaughn, thanks so much.
Also went in and fired all the watchdogs, all the people that pursued legal action against him, all the people in the DOJ that could help protect the American people. He fired all those folks last week. I think it was Friday. So he fired all the people that's going to hold him accountable. And then here we are Tuesday saying that he's doing all these things. So he's trying to get rid of checks and balances. He's trying to get rid of oversight of himself. And then he's trying to take oversight out of the states. So if he gets away with the things that he wants to do, he's going to open it up for the states to work independently, because he'll take federal funding, federal oversight, regulatory oversight, all those things away, because that is what he does. And then all states can be like, what's it called? They all can act how they want to act. They all can do what they want to do. They don't have to have any rhyme or reason. I can't think of the word I'm trying to say, but be acting like outlaws out there. So this is craziness, total craziness. And so, yeah, I just say hold tight. Yep, it's gonna be a bunch of them. And the thing is, all these news sources want us to pay. I got so many. I don't for so many new membership. House plans freeze, plans federal grants freeze as Trump agenda takes shape. The White House office has a pause on all federal grants, effective at 5 p.m. today, potentially impacting trillions in government spending and halting public programs that affect millions of Americans. Meals on Wheels, Head Start programs, the immigration sweeps have started. 2,000 arrests in 2 days. The White House Board of Cesar cabinet picks confirm. White House says energy is one of the number one drivers in energy. What? White House says energy is one of the number one drivers of inflation. There's some truth to that. I don't even trust CNN at this point. White House press secretary. On a monthly basis, I'm not even doing that. All right, y'all. So we're going to be following this. I'm not going to hold y'all up while I'm going through all this. Maybe you send out $1,000 stimulus check to make it seem like he's trying to save everyone. Maybe he will. Maybe he will. That is the mission, to return all decisions back to the state since 2000. Exactly, Ramona. And talking, yep, press conference show. Yes, exactly. And that's crazy. My governor is cool. I'm in Michigan. So he could give state control to my governor. We are honestly a blue state. I don't mind that. But them states like Texas, Alabama, Mississippi, Kentucky, man, with no oversight, those people will be going rampant. They will be doing just like he's doing. So, and it makes no sense. Like, it just makes no sense. They don't understand how community works. They don't understand how to, if you take care of your people. Oh, thank you. Stacey Abrams was my choice. Yes, 100%. Child, me too. 100%. I appreciate you too. I'm trying to grow my page. So I'm new to YouTube, still trying to figure all this stuff out, but please support my page, like the videos, recommend the videos, share the videos. I try to get concise and to the point, not have too much rambling. But this one, I was in a meeting with HUD, with the Housing Commission, and then this happened. And it's just a lot going on. And what I don't want to do is get alarmed, because I expected this. I expected this because I work in this industry, and he did it the last time. He did it the last time, but he was a lot more subtle. But he removed a lot of public funding from a lot of programming that helps a lot of people in low income communities. And so I knew he was going to do it this time, but not like week two, and not at this massive of a level. This massive of a level just to halt everything is a little bit different. But I feel like he is a desperate man, and I feel like he's moving like it's desperate times. Like I feel like I feel like something else is going on because he's doing too much right away. And when I read through Project 2025, I don't give a damn if the Heritage whatever did commission that work. The work is ridiculous. It's not based on a lot of data. I'm still reading through it because I should have read it last year, but I'm reading it now. And it's mostly opinions and beliefs, and they want to take things back to how the world was in 1913 when there was less than probably 40% of the population that there is now, probably 40% of the income of the dollars that were circulating then now. Like a lot of the things that they want to achieve date back to before Black people were actually considered a person, right? Before we had so many people living here legally, before we had 350 million people. A lot of the things that they want to do are just not possible to do with the amount of people that live in this country, with the amount of cost that the things cost. Like everything is so, it's just, and I just don't understand. Well, I do understand because it's white people, right? And so, but I work in compliance. I work in data. I work in analytics. I work in analyzing things for the financial industry and analyzing programming and all these things. And when I read through Project 2025, it just doesn't make sense and it's not possible. They want to get rid of the FDIC, the NCUA, the Federal Reserve, and the OCC and put it all into one type of in one entity for oversight, and then with the Treasury. And the things, if you don't have checks and balances, if you don't have checks and balances and you don't have one entity have to report to another entity and all those things, it's not going to work. And in Project 2025, they believe that a lot of the agencies is a waste of money, it's a money grab, and that a lot of agencies all do the same thing, CFPB, all these things. And it's because they don't understand how they operate that they would understand they don't all do the same things. And because of one, we need the other. And this one does this and this one does that. And together they work and the system works. You can break the system and make it better. But to say the system doesn't work and a lot of it is duplicative, that tells me that you don't know and understand what these different agencies do. And we have a very uneducated person in office. You must reach out to the defiant lawyer attorney is as you I don't know who that is. I haven't heard of that person. But thank you. But you can recommend me. I don't know that person. So when I read through the stuff that they're trying to do, it just doesn't make sense, and it can't work the way that they think that it could work, because like one of the things, they want to make the dollar backed by gold again. They want to remake it backed by gold. There's not enough gold in the world to back all the dollars that the USA prints, but they want to get rid of the Federal Reserve because they feel the Federal Reserve is a wasted entity. But the Federal Reserve prints the money, manages the money, sets the rates on the money, destroys bad money. Like the Federal Reserve does so much, and they attack one part of something does, one agency, and then they want to just get rid of the whole thing and they want to redo it. And this is just not how it works. So this, with them freezing the money, instead of attacking it like a normal person would with forming a committee, hey, I want to research Head Start. I want to research school meals. I want to research Meals on Wheels. I want to research WIC. I want to research like all the things. Let's research these programs. Let's research and see if they're wasting any money. Who are the participants? Who does the money go to? How do they get the money out? There's so many pieces of the puzzle because the government creates programs that they have to give the money to different states and cities, and then they have an infrastructure that gets the money out so the programs work. That's just how it is. There's not ever been a different way. You have to fund the programs at the federal level. The federal government sends the money to the state funds it at the city levels, and the cities have different entities like my nonprofit, like another nonprofit, or a small business organization, or a CDC We are the infrastructure that gets the money from the state and the city to make sure at a grassroots level it gets to the people. That's how it works, because the government doesn't do programs. Let me start there. The government doesn't do programs. They don't facilitate programs. They don't implement programs. They don't design programs. The government says, we got $1 billion to help you keep at-risk youth in school. We'll give you the money if you got a way to do it. So the city will make a program to keep at-risk youth in school. Then they have to find nonprofits and other people that do training and all these things to say, okay, we have a program now, so give us the $1 billion. They get the $1 billion and the city disperses it through all these different people that has their hands at a grassroots level on communities that have at-risk youth, to get the gangs off the street, to get the homeless kids off the street, to get the kids that have been abandoned, to get the kids that have parents that are drug addicts. Like, that's how this works. And all these at-risk youth, we gather them up, we put them in program, we put them in after school, we give them mentors, we give them a big brother, a big sister. That's how this works. And for them to think that this stuff doesn't work is because they don't understand how it works. You understand what I'm saying? The government makes the rules for what they want the money to go to. For housing, they say, we want to make sure everybody can have a house, even homeless people. Here's $3 billion. Make sure people can get a house. We go and we make sure a developer can get some money to build veterans homeless shelter, to build women's domestic abuse center shelter, to build a homelessness shelter, period, to build affordable housing. But you have to work with entities within those cities and states that the state approves and has a history of working with to get the monies out. And if you want to research if the programs work, then research if the programs work, but you don't pause, you don't freeze the funds to make sure the programs work. The other thing is, he's freezing all federal funds before he even has his department heads confirmed for the different departments. Like, it's just all crazy making. It's just crazy. He doesn't even have everybody in place. I don't even know if they confirmed the guy for HUD. Like, he's got all the people that still needs to be confirmed, all these Senate hearings. That's going to go on pause because now Congress is going to be focusing on this. So, and the last time he was in office, he fired a ton of people in a lot of departments that had to do with public assistance, public programs, public needs, social justice, social economics, like all these things. So we just got to sit back. I tell you, I swear, if he ain't going to pay his bills, oh, damn it, I don't believe I'm going to pay my bills. I don't believe he plans to appoint anyone. The goal is king. Well, we're going to see. But he can do that if he wants to. I swear to God, if he does that, then I feel like the people of the king should stop paying their taxes and everything else. Stop paying their fucking bills. Stop paying their fucking taxes. Stop paying everything. Bankrupt the fucking, stop shopping. Stop shopping. Stop going out to eat. Stop traveling. Stop everything. All you make sure you got shelter and food on the table. In fact, don't pay the banks your fucking mortgage. Don't pay your fucking rent. Make the landlords. There's too many people renting. Them landlords can't collect from everybody. Stop paying your mortgage. The banks will go broke. Like, you want to break some shit? We can break some shit. That's how I feel. They're gonna put me off air. They're gonna put me out. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't do YouTube, but like, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. If we stop money from moving, then it would 100%. We can stop paying everybody. And the way this is going, it's almost like if you're gonna freeze, I'm gonna freeze. I feel like I don't give a damn about credit. Credit don't matter to nobody if you ain't got nothing. If I don't have anything, I don't give a damn about your credit score. I don't give a damn about your credit rating. I don't give a damn about your credit process. If I don't have anything, why do I need credit? So it's that, and that's what it will come to, because people will come together. No boycott, stop spending for one day. It ain't no one day. This ain't a one day thing. No, if this kind of stuff goes through, if this kind of stuff goes through, the one day boycotts don't work, because you just go back and you double spend. You have to stop spending. You have to be prepared to break your system. You have to be prepared to break your credit. You have to be prepared to go into foreclosure. You have to be prepared to get a repossession. You have to be prepared, because if everybody does it at once, our system will break, because the economic system cannot handle all that at once. Just like when COVID, keep thinking, America is not set up very logically. So think about COVID, when everybody got sick and the hospital was overwhelmed. If everybody stops paying their bills, the economic system will get overwhelmed. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. You understand? So no, it ain't no just one day, right? They want a problem. They can have a problem. It's just the problem of getting everybody to do it. That's what I say. But they're going to put me off of YouTube. This probably shouldn't have been on my live. But anyway, let me get off of here, because I do have to do something else. I forgot. This just caught me off guard. But y'all have a good, it's going to be okay. I do believe that. I believe that it'll be all okay. I believe that this man is showing his true colors. And now white people, brown people, everybody that didn't listen to the 92%, everybody that didn't listen to the 92%, y'all better get y'all shit together. Y'all better come together and figure it out. Come together and figure it out. That's what I got to say. It's going to be okay. All right. I'm going to see y'all later. Lord have mercy.